Good evening, salutations, my JH fans. It's a lot to unpack. So, Sasha wants to get married, and at first, Brandon's like, "Where's this coming from?" Because he's they're thinking is coming from a place of avoiding pain, Liam and everything like that. But Sasha tells him that Liam was kind of more of a push to kind of realize that life is short and you should kind of just grab every moment while you can, or something along the lines that she kind of said. So I felt like, here's the thing, I felt like her explanation was a good enough reason, um, in theory, to get married, but we went from 0 to 60 from jump. I think they kind of had a thing for each other, and then she got pregnant, and then they became close because of that, and then then they lost a baby, and at that point it was like you felt like they didn't really have much to begin with, but now it's just all right, cool, let's get married. Yeah, okay, that works. It's just like I'm. Listen, I'm not really with the whole lovey-dovey romance thing, but I feel like it should be some sort of process, and it's like they just zoom past a lot of it. But yeah, now they plan on getting married, and Sasha is still um using. So Spencer, yeah, I was like, who am I talking about? So Spencer, goes to the gravesite to see, his mother or whatever, his mother's gravesite, and Trina gets there, and Trina's like, did you get released early or something? So, you know, Spencer's like, let's know what to come and sit there and see her grave and everything like that, and this, that, and the third. And by the way, again, I wanted to sit there and point out, which I'm pretty sure everyone can agree, bro, what are you doing? Like, you have not that long to your sentence, and this is something that I again, always gotta sit there and point out how Trina's a better character than Jocelyn, because Trina called him on his BS. When Spencer was like, usually I send flowers and stuff like that. I'm like, and you could have did that today instead of risking you going to Pentonville and serving out your full sentence, which you probably should have served. But as Trina put it, he's a rich spoiled brat. Anyway, there's one point where because Spencer's like, listen, don't tell anyone, yada yada yada, and Joy comes up. And it's not at this point Trina, covers up for him. And then again, there's one point where Trina pushes him, which I was just like, I didn't really understand why she pushed him for. It's not like he tried to like come in and get a kiss or anything like that. So I didn't really understand why. Anyway, after she lays into him, you know, she says something along the lines of, just I'm about to give up on you. I find some goodness in you or whatever. I'm just like, where are you talking about? I know a lot of people want, Spencer and Trina to be together, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if Spencer is ready for someone like her because she keeps it real, and I don't know. Maybe Spencer's kind of into people that's well, like Asmere, or what people just, girls are not really I'm not gonna be a dick about it, but he's not used to going out with women like Trina. So I don't, understand how that's going to work. I personally don't think that. I personally don't think that like he's good enough for someone like Trina. But they're going to make it happen. So okay, sure. So everyone sees the tape. Everyone sees the tape of them. Jocelyn and Cam, of them. Having their little romp in bed. And Jocelyn's like, shut it off or whatever. And eventually, the teacher does it, And, she apologized. She's like, oh, I wish I would have done it sooner, yada, yada, yada. And I'm kind of just like, why didn't you not do it sooner? It's like you kind of just stood there and froze and was like, no, everyone calm down and yada, yada, yada. I would have did everything I could to make sure that I just stopped the whole, the video and everything like that. But then afterwards, she apologized and she says, that guy's going to get suspended, but you two should really make sure that, you find a way to keep your stuff private or whatever. I'm like, sweetheart, listen, in that moment, you pretty much kind of failed as a teacher. So I don't really understand why you feel the need to be giving advice or telling them what to do. Like, you should have been put a stop to that. Anyway, at one point, they start arguing with each other, and Justin's like, "Listen, I'm not sitting there trying to blame you. I'm just, my head is spinning." And of course, you got sociopath Esme just like standing outside, laughing and everything like that. But eventually, Jocelyn catches up to her and calls her out. It's like, you're the one that did it. This, that, and the third. You've been doing, you've been finding a way to get at us and this, that, and the third since jump. Of course, at this point, Jocelyn doesn't have any proof, and Jocelyn and Kim don't have any proof, but they keep accusing her. And of course, Esme is like, oh, well, I didn't do it, this, that, and the third. You always blaming me, just playing the victim. It does get to one point where Esme is like, oh, well, I wasn't even there at the cabin, but I know exactly who was. And of course, Trina walks right into the room. And of course, when Jocelyn turns around and looks at Trina, it almost looks like she's like, you did it. Now, again, I want to point out just exactly how stupid, and I know they're going to do it because at this point, why not? The Johnson will sit there and blame Trina for being the one that recorded them. Which, again, is like, you've known her for how long? And you think that you really would sit there and do that? I get it. They're teens, so they're not, going to have exactly, well, actually, they're not really teens. They're more like college students, but I get it. They're not going to exactly have their ish together. So I can understand Jocelyn mistakenly blaming Trina, but it's just extremely stupid. Um, but I have a feeling like they're going to do that anyway because why not? So, yeah, this is pretty much where we are because of reasons. So how many people are rooting for Finn and Liz to get together? Because I'm gonna be honest, I genuinely feel sorry for everyone who are Liz and Finn fans as far as getting together. Because now they take a break. Um, Finn wants to then try to go away or whatever. Like, because this stuff is starting to really get to Liz. She's not sleeping. This, that, and the third. And so, Finn's like, let's just get away for a couple of days. Let's do it with the boys, and we'll bring Violet. This, that, and the third. And Liz kind of pumps the brakes, like, because they talk about Jake possibly being the one that's doing it. So Liz is like, listen, if it is, that's the case, and we kind of got to sit there and stop this whole thing, and I got to focus my attention on them. And of course, Finn is like, I'll wait for you, yada yada yada. I'm like, so once again, they take extremely slow baby steps as far as trying to, as far as getting together. And then this happens, like, oh, we gotta sit there and pump the brakes. So let's just kind of put everything on pause. Oh boy, man, I was like totally, committed to like, I was just totally. I'm trying to be sarcastic. My point is just like, it's just like, mm. And I'm not. Here's the thing. I'm not even feeling like that. That's not even my assessment because, well, let's be honest, I feel like crap right now. But that's just even if I was fine, I would still be like, so y'all just love toys with your fans, right? Y'all just you get people to sit there and root for these two, and then you take baby steps, and then you sit there and take 10 steps backwards. I can't, but I'm pretty sure there's some people that's rooting for them because why the hell not? I'm starting to wonder, do they even know what to do with Sunny at this point? I mean, we all know that eventually Sonny and Nina are going to have this romance and everything like that because Maurice Bernard, I can't believe I couldn't actually pronounce my middle name. Um, wants to do something new. He wants to do something different. Yeah, me and Maurice have the same name. Um, so we know that that's going to be a thing. So Sonny comes to the Metro Court to talk to Carly and kind of reminisce about Courtney. And I'm just like, I mean, again, I said this on Friday and I'll sit there and say this again. This whole Courtney thing just really came out of nowhere. I didn't realize that Carly named like the Metro Court at the Courtney or some part at the Courtney. I don't understand what part, but whatever. Um, anyway, Sonny wants to then kind of bond with her over Courtney. And, after a while, Carly's like, listen, we can't do this because every time I see you, I'm in pain. And so this isn't gonna work. Like this whole try like what are you doing, bro? So, after a while Sonny's like, all right, let's not do whatever you want. If you want me to leave, you want me to sit there and when you pick up the girls, we'll set schedules, do this, that, and the third. If you want to sit there and visit Jason's grave or whatever, we'll make, plans this way we won't bump into each other. So Sonny's sitting there talk about that, and then Jordan comes in. And after Jordan, gives her condolences, which I'm gonna be honest, I never exactly really liked that word or my condolences. It's like, what does that mean? Anyway, I know, and granted, to be fair, there's really nothing you can sit there and say to someone that's going to make them feel better or anything that you're going to sit there and say. So I guess that's just the word that people decades ago decided to come up with. Anyway, after they talk about Cyrus and, kind of like, this was a team effort and stuff like that, Carly leaves, and Sonny, pretty much Jordan just puts Sonny on notice, like, yo, listen, we were cool in the past, you helped me out, and, I thank you, and whatever happened in the past, I'm not worried about that. What you do now, though, yeah, that's going to be a problem. So just, live just be a good citizen. And Sonny was like, oh, well, because, she talks about, oh, your contemporary life, when you had at Nixon Falls. And Sonny's like, well, maybe we want to kind of spice things up. Jordan's like, listen, you do you, and I'm going to do me. And if that's me putting cuffs on you, then, sure, bro, do what you want. By the way, where's that big player at? Remember, Brick was in to talk about there's a new player that's in town, and, um, you need to sit there and kind of be aware of that. When is that coming? Is that a thing? Is that going to be Marshall? What are we doing? I mean, if you're going to have a mob element, at least have that be a fact. I guess they're going to do it down the line. Who knows at this point? I It's hard for me to sit there and say this with a straight face, but there's one point Lucy was, I guess, talking to Martin, and she said that when are you going to be done or something along the lines so I can gobble your cobbler. I When I heard that, I was like, am I watching the right program? Because I popping one of my videos by accident because I'm pretty sure that she said what I thought she said. And of course, Curtis, Curtis and Portia walks in. I'm like, oh, I'm just like, I don't even know what to say about that. Anyway, long story short, Curtis and Portia decide to have a bidding war. I guess with Sonny, um, since Lucy was to talk about Dimples. Obviously, it has to be Sunny because no one else on the show, or they can't bring anyone else on the show to actually have nice dimples. It's just reserved for Sunny. So you also talk about Marshall since it's a big, since it's a big. I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was gonna spill my water, and I was not gonna sit there and record this again. Um, Portia also brings up not just Trina, but they bring up Marshall. Like maybe we can have a guest room for Marshall. And Curtis is like, we ain't there yet. I mean, I'm not seeing red every time I see him, but we ain't there yet. But of course, of course, it's like maybe it's a good way to start. So long story short, they agreed to bid for the house, and yeah, I think that's about it. But I also feel like crap, so I feel like I also missed something too. But I don't think I did. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. Sorry for the sniffles. It should go away hopefully in a couple of days. Um, yeah. With that being said, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.